Welcome to a presentation from Co-operative, West Yorkshire. It's Easter again, and we address our thoughts to Mrs. May. Congratulations, Mrs. May, on speaking of the strong tradition that we have in this country of religious tolerance and freedom of speech. We must continue to ensure that people feel able to speak about their faith, and that absolutely includes their faith in Christ. Again, now we look at the country's progress. Now we are firmly in the Brexit negotiations and moving towards making our way in the world again. Now, however, we must make this important and essential point. It's no good Brexiting or leaving the EU with its neoliberalism and non-democracy. If we then slip easily back into the quasi-democracy system of Westminster, for this offers only seeming democracy, something which is only very slightly better than what we have had in the EU. For 40 years now we have been in these doldrums, and the UK has lost so much of itself and its people, with skills like steel mining and fishing industry, and many, many more are thrown away. Many people are lost, as it were, forgotten by the people in Westminster. Here are a list of failings which have saddled our society for far too long. In our new freedom of Brexit times, let us look at how these can be changed, so the UK is better structured to move forward and prosper. Failing 1. Our generous country gives benefits that snare many, so there is a sad malaise in society. How hard it is today to get a job, and even more difficult for many inexperienced youngsters who have never worked. On top of the very difficult task of finding a job or going self-employed, many of those who are successful will find that working hard they have less money than they would receive when happily or unhappily sitting in the benefits scheme. So many will then say simply, why do I bother to work when I'm getting more money for doing nothing? For a job to bring satisfaction, it's essential that I can get enough money to keep me and my family together. People say it must not be the case that by receiving full benefits I am actually better off financially than when working or training for work. Yet this is often the case. This results in a sad malaise in society. We're on point 3. I think 2 got tied up with point 1. And its effects are even worse for young people still hoping for an interesting job. Even those well placed by family background to obtain the passbook of a degree may find it difficult to get work, or as less and less places are available. Here comes the watering down and the hope after the hope dispensed by some schools. The sharpness is taken out of life. Now, with advanced machinery reducing the need for labour and therefore the number of jobs available, it is not surprising that the benefits trap has become a regular way of life, and in fact, for many seems the only viable way to survive. And point number 4. How are we to overcome this huge difficulty facing society in this country? It is possible with education to overcome it. Is it possible? For here is a society running so short of opportunities, many are sucked into soap watching. And the national grid goes into overload just as EastEnders comes to a close, and all the kettles are switched on to make a cup of tea. This is for many life. How can fresh initiatives, number 5, how can fresh initiatives be stimulated? Should TV be banned? More time given to forums? Looking at job opportunities and learning languages. Our huge soft media has a tremendous dumbing down effect on our old society. This seems very dangerous. And point number 6, our education is biased towards the classical. Gives a chance to the well-placed, but does little for those without such a background. The vocationally interested are badly neglected, and so the many youngsters miss out badly. And for many years this has been the case. We need not wonder why Germany, France and Sweden pull ahead of us in their manufacturing. There are few of our youth who can offer the qualities such as good timekeeping and personal discipline. A point made by a colleague of mine who has worked in a remedial school explained how he had found things in this situation. Although they had a well set up workshop in the school, the youngsters were not taken into the facility for fear of an accident on the machinery. The staff there had no power to use discipline and would almost certainly have lost their jobs if an accident had occurred while they were taking a class. Also, they might lose their jobs if they shouted too loudly while attempting to stop any misbehaviour. He recounted to us how youngsters in other classes regularly smashed expensive computer equipment and merely said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just lost my temper." And that was a sufficient excuse for what they had done, and no action was taken against them. So now we must look urgently at how these matters can be improved, and this we will do in our next presentation following this one. Thank you for watching us. Thank you.